Hello, I'm C1 Kim, and I'm going to talk about and tell you what my CAS plan is for my current plans for CAS activities. So my first idea was, my first plan is a charity music. So what this is that I'm going to perform for charity groups, music performances, to fundraise and other motives. It doesn't have to be. It'll be performance, a variety of performances. So music, talk shows, etc., etc. I'm going to do it with a friend who's also taking IB. It's going to be his CAS project as well. CAS activity as well. So what's going to happen is the charity groups are going to ask us to take part in their events or to help them in some way. So either it's going to be a fundraise or make kids happy, etc. We're going to help them out through performances. And also if they want some other kind of help, for example, lifting something, promoting their charity, we're going to help them. But our main focus is on performance. So our supervisor is Mr. Horan. That's what we thought of, me and my friend. It's pending still, but I think it's going to work out because he has already allowed us to practice in his room on Mondays and Fridays, and he said he was going to be with us. So, but we still have to make the detailed plan and show it to him so we can get the supervision agreement. So every other week on Monday there will be a practice in the music room with my friend and our drummer, and the performance will happen whenever there is an offer. And the offer is actually we already have few offers because my friend who's taking IB has links to many charity organizations. His mother is working and has friends in the charity organization, so a lot of people has contacted my friend so he can perform at those places. So I'm going to help him out, and that is my CAS activity. This activity is all creativity, action, and service. So creativity because we're making music, even if we're going to make our own music and perform at charity events. We're going to design our own performances. For example, if it's not a music performance, we're going to have like these talks or humor performances or humor performances in between, and we're going to design that ourselves, and that is creativity. And also, if we're going to perform a song that someone else wrote in default, we're going to interpret it in our own way, and we're going to change the music fitting ourselves best, and that is creativity. Action is actually performing it for the charity groups. We're going to travel to the charity groups, and then we're going to perform there live, and we're going to do performances there, and that is the activity part. And the service part is we're doing a service for the charities or other organizations, non-government organizations. These are the learning outcomes I thought I would have after my activity. So first of all, I would know how to demonstrate, to initiate a CAS experience. So because this is a performance, there will be a lot of practicing, but there has to be a plan before we perform there, because this is actually the charities need our help, and it is quite significant for them, and we have to take this seriously. So we'll be forced to plan like a detailed plan of what our performance is going to be. For example, if we're going to do music, we're going to lay out which music we're going to do when, in what order, and in what style. And also, because this is a charity group, they won't set a stage and they would invite us to perform there. It's actually, they say, okay, can you perform with us, for us? And then we would have to figure out what kind of stage we're going to perform it. So we have to we negotiate with the charity groups, and then we have to compromise on where we're going to perform, how long we're going to perform, and what we need, and how we're going to set that up, and we have to plan that ourselves, of course, with the charity groups. So this will be a really interesting experience for me, and I think that's how I'll know the first learning outcome. Secondly, I'll know how to identify my own strengths and develop areas for growth. This is after my performances, I would reflect on myself, because there will be a lot of mistakes I know I will make. And from there, I will know my weaknesses, and I will develop them for my growth. And also, I'll find my own strengths, and I will amplify that. That's how I'm going to learn. The second, through experience and through taking risks. Thirdly, I'll know how to demonstrate the skills and recognize the benefits of working collaboratively. I'm going to work with a friend, and also there will be another drummer, and then it's a band, so the collaboration is really essential. I would have to know how to work with them as a group, as a team, so then we can have a better performance. And this is going to this process will be happening during the rehearsals every other week on Mondays. My second activity is jogging. What I'll do is I'm going to jog 2 kilometers away along the Hillview Old Railroad. It's a long railroad that the rail has been gone. The rail is not there anymore. It's just a long line. It extends until Harborfront from Bukit Timah. So then I'm going to jog 2 kilometers there, and I will increase the distance by 0.5 kilometers every 2 weeks. And the reason I'm doing this is because to continue exercising while having to study during IB and to stay healthy. And I have not been exercising for a long time, and this is how I'm going to force myself to exercise and become healthy, and this is my action. I'm going to do it every Sunday and Thursday. On Sundays in the morning, Thursday in the afternoon after school. My supervisor, I am not sure yet. If I find a friend who would like to do this with me, I would ask their parent to help me and my parent to help them. Or we can find a different supervisor. And these are the learning outcomes. I thought that this would show commitment and perseverance in CAS experiences. I start exercises normally, and I don't do them constantly. And this time, I would try to show my commitment and perseverance. And that is quite a challenge for me, because it's kind of hard to wake up every morning, or every Tuesday after school, when I have a lot of homework, I would have to go and jog. And even when I'm tired, I would have to go and jog. So even if I'm lazy, I would have to go and jog. So yeah, that just shows how I'm going to do the first one. The second one, I'm going to identify my own strengths and develop areas for growth. I'm going to train myself. So in the end, my goal is to run till Harborfront, or a distance that long, around 5 kilometers straight. And that will be very hard, but that is my I'm going to identify my own strengths and amplify that. I'm going to find my own weaknesses and develop areas for growth. So it'll be jogging exercise, but it'll be also a training activity. My third activity, CAS activity, is the musical. I take part in this every year, but this time it's called Arlecchino and the City of Love. It's a different musical, and I'm going to take part in as an actor, playing the role of Paolo. My supervisor is Miss Barros, and every Tuesday there is a rehearsal from 3:40 to 6 p.m. and the performance will be in mid-December. And the role Paolo this is actually the most challenging role I had since my other 4 musicals, because Paulo doesn't have lines. But it's in the stage a lot. But I would have to show I would have to act only using my physicality, and I have to show humor through my physicality, and it'll be kind of hard for me. Therefore, my learning outcomes will be demonstrate that challenges have been undertaken, developing new skills in the process. I would try to find my own way to show emotion and make people laugh using only my physicality and my facial expressions, and that is a new skill as an actor for me. Secondly, I will show commitment and perseverance in CAS experiences. It's a musical. By December there's going to be a lot of rehearsals, and I would have to commit to it in order to succeed in it. And there's going to be a lot of homework, and especially in December, it's going to be near our first semester exam, which I'll have to be really committed to it, and there'll be a lot of rehearsals. If I have to study, I would have to balance myself. Thirdly, I will demonstrate the skills and recognize the benefits of working collaboratively. As Apollo, I'm a servant of Arlecchino, and I am always on stage with him. And when he's on stage, I'm on stage with him, and he's the main character. And I would have to know how to act collaboratively with him. And that'll be my communication skills, listening to him and trying to work out together, compromising on how we're going to interact on stage. And that will be a new skill for me, and skill to improve as well. My 4th activity is the newspaper CCA, the phonics newspaper team. I'm going to be in there as a writer, columnist. I'll write news articles on school-based subjects and outside of school subjects and international issues, etc. My supervisor is Miss Jackson, although I'm working with Mr. Gutierrez most of the time, but Miss Jackson is my supervisor. She's also in the CCA, and there's a meeting time to time, mostly once a month. The CAS activity itself, though, will mostly happen during my own personal time, because I'm a writer, a columnist. We have meetings to choose on which articles we're going to write, on which subjects. After that, I'm going to write it myself, and most of the learning outcomes I'm going to explain in a bit will be happening during this period. Newspaper will give me creativity and service. This is because creativity, I'm trying to explore new ideas. I'm trying to find subjects that interest me, and I'm going to digest that in my head, and I'm going to write a newspaper in my own style, different, unique from other people. So most of the time, if I write about Hayes, I would include the political conflicts in it, political issues in it. Unlike a lot of people just say what the Hayes is and how health problems from it. But I would have the more holistic view, a more complicated view. I would often have my own opinion and have a message to convey. So I would have all these other formats I would take, and that is the creativity part. The service is service for the school. I'm offering information, giving information to students in the school and teachers. And my learning outcomes will be demonstrate how to initiate a plan, a CAS experience. I have to plan how I'm going to write, and also if it's an interview, I would have to plan the dates for the interview, and I would run around and interview other people, and I would have to plan this out before I do it, because I would have to communicate with the other person, choose a date, make a timetable, choose a date where we're going to have the interview, and this is all the part of the planning. And since all these articles have due dates, and I would have to follow the due dates, so I would have to make a plan how I'm going to write it and when I'm going to write it. And there's also a structure to the newspaper, and that will be a plan as well. Secondly, demonstrate engagement with issues of global significance. I am a columnist in the newspaper team, and I mostly write about international issues more than school local or local issues. So I give information about the global issues, global conflicts, and global information. So that is how I'm going to demonstrate engagement with issues of global significance, and I'm going to convey my opinion and information about the global significance. So I'm going to make it more aware through writing in the newspaper, through my articles. Thirdly, I'm going to recognize and consider the ethics of choices and actions. When I write, I have to be careful of my choices and my actions. What I write on the paper, it can't be biased. It can't offend someone. So I have to be really careful, and I have to consider the ethics, because everyone has different aspects of ethics, and our school especially is international. It's an international school, so there are different types of ethics, and I will have to be careful on what I put it on. For example, I have this kind of ethics, and I write my article based on just that. Other people could get offended, because I'm gonna deal with global issues most of the time, and that has different opinions depending on their culture, their nationality. So I would have to research on all of this. I would have to consider all of this and be careful on my choices and actions in writing my article. My fifth activity is a film competition. During September and October, I'm going to create a short film with my friend, and then we're going to create a short film, then enter a competition. And I will have, and the dates, the timing, I will have at least one meeting with my partner every Saturday during the planning period. I will follow this timetable. When the actual filming starts, the meeting dates could change depending on the scene we are taking and the weather of the day. So I'm going to be pre-planning for the film. It will take around September, the whole of September, and a bit of early October, and that will be every Saturday, or we could have Skype calls on different days. So, but the fixed date is on Saturday. And when we're filming it, we can't have a set day, because depending on the scene we want to take, we would have to make our own timetable. Because, for example, if we want a raining scene, we would need the weather to be rainy. So then we would have to compromise on the spot. Our supervisor is Eugene, and that is my friend's dad, and he's going to supervise for my CAS experience, my CAS activity. And these are the learning outcomes I thought. Before that, I'm going to talk about that this film competition is a creativity and action. The creativity part is making the film, planning the film, making the storyline, having basically making an outline of the film and the storyboard and etc. And the action will be actually filming the thing, running around Singapore, taking the film, and that is quite an action. When we're going to act, and we're going to film. We're going to use a camera to film, and then we're going to edit the filming, and that is all action. And our learning outcomes are going to be demonstrate how to initiate a plan. Of course, before we have to take the film on camera, we have to plan it. Secondly, demonstrate engagement with issues of global significance. It depends on what our storyline is, but I have already had a meeting with my friend, and we have decided on our story, and it's going to talk about global significance, global issues, and we're going to make it more aware, and we're going to send a message, a meaning through this film about this global issue. Recognize and consider the ethics of choices and actions. This is going to be a short film public to everyone. So then we can't make the film unoffensive to everybody, because that is very hard. Unlike, especially this is a film, unlike the other one in the newspaper, it was a news article. Well, this is our artwork. So then the ethics of choice and action, we still have to be very careful, because this will be on public and it will be shared with everybody. So we still have to be careful. Fourthly, demonstrate the challenges have been undertaken, developing new skills in the process. I have never made a film in my life, and I have mostly been an actor, and I have not been a director. I have not been times when I was a director, I never did the technical stuff. Taking the film on camera, editing the film, and making the storyboard, and making the costume, making the scene, making everything, and the script. So then this will be a big challenge for me, and I will be developing new skills, bunch of new skills during this process. And my CAS project, a dodgeball league, and this is on a separate slide. And Rifki has already talked about this briefly, but I'm going to talk it in my perspective. And there are things Rifki did not mention and Koyo did not mention, so I'm going to talk about it. And then, as a person who made the plan, mostly I'm going to talk about it, our CAS project. So it'll be a dodgeball league, and Rifki already explained that. Our goal is to create a dodgeball league among international schools, Singapore. So it'll be, our motive is to make it like any other sports CCA in Chatsworth. For example, the football CCA, they have their own league and they give medals. They go to other schools and then they compete with them, have a game, and then there's a league system, and then they go up, and then whoever wins first, second, third gets the medals. We're going to make the same thing among international schools. So we're going to make a whole new league, a whole new season. And from September to January, we're going to plan and prepare for the dodgeball CCA, because we need to set up the basis for the dodgeball league to actually happen. Because if we make the CCA in Chatsworth, we won't be making a dodgeball league. We would have to have other schools make the CCAs with us. So then, before the second season, which starts from January, I think, or a bit after that, all the other schools there has to be other schools who has a dodgeball CCA, which I don't think they do, and all of these many other schools who has joined our dodgeball competition and has agreed in taking part in, and that would need preparations and planning as well. So what are the plannings? Basically the game rules. There are a variety of dodgeball games, and everyone has different ones depending on where they came from. We're going to make our set dodgeball game, so we're going to have our own rules. So basically, we're going to have the whole structure. We're going to organize the game ourselves. We're going to create a new dodgeball thing, a dodgeball game, and that will be the set dodgeball game where everyone has to follow. And this will take in the planning, and this is the creativity part. And the league system, we'll have to make a system. We'll ask Mr. Nadar. We're going to ask all these supervisors for CCAs who run the CCA, and we're going to ask them, how is the league in other sport leagues work, and we're going to take that in consideration. We're going to make it better, and we're going to make our own, and that's creativity as well. Preparations, we're going to contact other schools to set up their dodgeball CCAs. As I said, other people have to set up their dodgeball CCAs. We're going to start up with our friends that we know from other schools. For example, I know Kai, Koyo knows someone from other schools, Rifki knows someone from other school. I have a bunch of other people who's in international schools in my choir outside. Koyo and Rifki probably has other people they know, and from there they're going to ask them to make their own dodgeball CCAs. and then from there, that's the friend part. So we're gonna ask our people we know to make their dodgeball CC. After that, we're gonna contact other school, send letters, have a call, go to their school and have a meeting with other people. So this will be the creativity part, and we're gonna negotiate with other schools. And I believe this will make the relationship between international schools and other international schools and transfers more stronger. And so therefore we can have other inter-scholar activities other than dodgeball CCs. Organize the specifics to the game that will take place. So basically we have to make a plan on which date which school is going to compete with which school, have a game in which school, and that is we're going to pre-organize that, and that is preparation. This is all negotiation with other schools. That was going to be the risk, but we decided if we're just going to make a dodgeball CCA in Chatsworth, that's not a risk, and it's not that fun. It's really easy. So then we decided that we're going to make a whole league. We think it's going to work out, but it's still kind of difficult. Yeah, January 2017 to June, dodgeball tournament runs. And CAS requirements, it's a CAS project, this creativity action service. Creativity, I already explained. Activity, we're going to take part in so we're going to be, Koyo, Rifki, and I are going to be in the Chatsworth dodgeball team, and we're going to play. And that's the activity part. Service, we're providing a dodgeball league to all international schools and also Chatsworth students and other students in other schools, and this is a service to them. Everyone likes dodgeball, most people. And our learning outcomes, we chose 4. First of all, developing new skills, undertake new challenges, negotiating with other schools, making a league ourselves. That is a challenge, and we're going to develop new skills, negotiation, communication skills. We're going to make our new own dodgeball game and our league system. This is all technical stuff, and it's going to take a lot of creativity and also knowledge in sports, and that's our new skills and new knowledge we're going to develop. And also we're going to show perseverance and commitment in our activity. This is going to run through basically the whole year, and we're going to have a lot of IB work from other subjects. And to continue and to run our own CCA, we need to be there all the time, every week on the specified day, and this will need commitment and perseverance. And to actually organize the league, we'll have to constantly communicate with other schools. We have to plan and initiate our activities. We're basically planning this whole year until January on the preparations and on the game rules and etc. And work collaboratively with others. I'm going to work with Koyo, Rifki. I have a lot of conflicts with Koyo. We debate a lot, but I think it's going to work out. And this will help me how to communicate with other people. For example, in drama class. But this will be a very different type of communication, because in drama, I have all these people who like drama, so then I can communicate with them better. In music, I have all these people who like music, so I can communicate with them better. But this time, we all like different stuff. Rifki, Koyo, and me. We all like different stuff. And we're doing one thing that we don't really major in. So then it's going to be kind of a challenge for me to work collaboratively with others. And I think I'm going to achieve that in the end of the activity. Thank you. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Is it too long? Thank you.